What's up, everyone? Welcome to... Yeah, I don't even know what episode it is. Like 100 and...
Good start.
59.
Strong start.
That's my guess. 159. Episode of the Pokemon Podcast. My name is SBJ. And with me today is Travis.
I was going to look up... You know how they have all those lists of weird and wacky holidays throughout the year? I was going to look up one for the 21st, which is when we're recording this, and be like, I'm so honored, Steve, that you had me on for the National Pistachio Day episode. But even on one of those weird and wacky holiday lists, the only thing I could find for the 21st, at least on this list, was Card Reading Day.
Card? That is, like, gift card? Or like...
I clicked to find more details about Card Reading Day because I had the same questions, you believe me. And so this, I don't want to plagiarize here or steal content. This is from holidayinsights.com. They say Card Reading Day is a fun day. It's a day to read cards, no more or less. Beyond a doubt, the stationery and e-card companies love this day. It encourages you to send cards. They like that. So, I mean... Card Reading Day. It's the most boring thing that could possibly, like, I'm glad I picked this joke today to do when there's not even, like, I would just look, like, there's the National Pistachio Day in a few days. Before that, blame someone else day. I mean, I could have blamed you for me not having an actual joke for my intro, but...
It's not like you can't use this joke in the future. It's like one and done.
Yep. Nope. Yep. I'm done. And I wasted it on Card Reading Day. You can't think of a joke about reading cards?
No.
There's nothing funny there.
Nope. Travis, did you listen to our last podcast? The last
I didn't.
Oh, okay. We talked about milk.
All right.
And then a couple listeners sent us pictures of them holding a glass of milk with, like, our podcast in the background.
All right, cool. Not knowing the context, that's a strange thing. That's a strange behavior.
Yeah, not knowing the context, it sounds like completely weird. But
from like an anthropological standpoint, like what drives a human being to make that? What drives a group to make that behavior collectively? I guess it'd be more sociological, but
I think we have the best podcast listeners to take.
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
I mean, I started off the conversation last week talking about how I bought the new Coca-Cola Milk, which is
Sorry, what is that? We're gonna get this again. Apparently, I'm sorry, listeners, but I need to. I'm sure you can appreciate that. I need to know this.
It's the milk made by Coca-Cola.
So it's just milk.
It's just milk. I don't remember. A listener told me that the milk was made in his town. Now I feel terrible because I'm on the spot. But the milk...
Milkman, our favorite listener.
But the milk has more protein and less sugar than, like, normal milk. Your normal Roundy's Piggly Wiggly milk. So that's the appeal.
Yeah, I think you picked the most, like, regional grocery stores you possibly could.
Well, what's your generic grocery store?
Around here, I mean, I know both of the places you mentioned, but they're not around. There's like Kroger and Meijer. Giant Eagle is a little south of here.
I've never heard of Giant Eagle. I've been to a Meijer. They're building a Meijer in Milwaukee finally.
It's a good spot. There's I don't think it's around here, but there's also a place called Food Lion, and that's a name that's always intrigued me. Welcome to the Pokemon Podcast. My name is SBJ. We're going to be talking about my favorite Pokemon, Food Lion.
Well, the reason I brought up the milk because I just thought it was awesome that listeners took pictures of milk and tweeted them at us. So if you still want to get on that milk bandwagon, I laugh every time. Please tweet us at Pokemon Podcast with your glass of milk. I prefer chocolate milk, 2% chocolate.
I'm not surprised that you prefer chocolate milk.
You know, it's a milk thing.
We need to reinstate the healthy living part of this podcast.
Yeah, we do.
I can't do it without Will.
I drink milk in the morning instead of a can of soda. That's part of my healthy living.
That is very, very healthy living. Well, actually, no, because milk is like not good for you.
But I would have to assume it's better than soda.
Yeah.
There we go. We got it all.
Baby steps.
Pokemon. Pokemon. It's just you and I, Travis. It hasn't been us in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few weeks since I've been on, and then it's been quite a while since it's just been the dynamic duo.
Yeah, it's been an unfortunate couple of weeks because we tried to record on weekends, and then last week Will was in Milwaukee, and our listeners are probably like, "Well, then why didn't you record?" And it's like, well, when I'm with Will in person, I want to do other things. I can record anytime with him. And then this week has
You
been...
can't record a video podcast with him.
This
Remember we
week
did that thing with Aaron? That's throwback.
Oh yeah, the
All
video
right.
podcast. This week has been a little hectic because I have Irene's brother over, and he's spending his weekend in my podcasting room. So he's out right now. So we're trying to do this quick show for you guys. And then we had an episode for you last week. So we're trying to do weekly. It's just been very stupid the last couple weeks. And then if you saw on our Twitter or Facebook, we're going to try this Twitch thing. We've had a Twitch account for, I think, 5 years now. And we had it when it was Justin TV.
We've done things with it.
We've done things with it. We Kenny did a Nuzlocke thing.
Well, he and a few listeners, I think Saul was involved too, or something. I can't remember who all was involved, but made a like a slight ROM hack of Leaf Green, I think, and then he did a Nuzlocke of that, and like they put in like little references to Pokemon podcast stuff.
Yes. Yeah, so we use Twitch for that. We're going to try to rebuild that. And so the goal is to... We normally record on Sundays mornings. We figured maybe we would record on Twitch. And if you're awake and you want to watch it, that's cool. If you're not, I'm still going to cut and edit it the way I do. Get rid of all the ums that Travis and I do. That
Mostly me.
Won't be cut because it was a reference to how I cut ums.
What if you cut out every time you said in all of those sentences? Because you're just so used to cutting out every
I'm used to the sound wave that it looks like.
Right, yeah. You know the waveform so well that when someone goes back to listen to it, that sentence just makes no sense.
That would be sweet. So still a high production value for iTunes, but if you want like a raw, uncut... if you want the raw, uncut footage, Sunday mornings might be for you. So we're going to play around with that thought process. And then Thursday nights might be another night that we might do a weekly recording, but that'll be less Pokemon focus. I mean, I'll talk about Pokemon, but it would be open to talking about anything. So if you... Both Twitch shows would be there's like gaming talk show. That's like a new thing on Twitch.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to appeal, because I'm really bad at playing video games, and I don't want to try to strike that market because I think that market's oversaturated.
Can I stream Hearthstone for the Pokemon podcast? Continue.
Yes.
Okay.
As long as you do voices and I'm there to make fun of you.
All right, sounds good.
Perfect. That could be a Thursday night thing. But if you want we could talk about milk and Pokemon and healthy living like on Thursday nights. That way people don't write in and say, why do you talk about Yokai Watchers and not Pokemon? And then give us a 1-star review in iTunes because we talked about Yokai Watchers.
Is that true?
That's a thing.
It's called Yokai Watch.
Is it?
Swine. I don't think it's called Watchers. No, I think it's just Yokai Watch.
Typical me with the English language. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in the Twitch thing, just like everything in the world, let us know via Twitter that you're into that, and I will work harder to get it up faster. And run. Well, that sounded a little dirty. Let's jump to news. All right, we don't have a lot of news. The Pokemon VGC and TCG regionals happened over Valentine's Day weekend. Nothing screams romance like sitting in a room of sweaty dudes playing Pokemon TCG.
I know my heart's pumping.
I know Kid Stark went down there. I know our friend Kyle Puka Sukovic. He was one of the commentators, just like he was last year, and he, as always, does a really good job. But he wasn't playing. I like seeing him play because he usually wins. I could I could go on and read like who won, but I didn't see any deck lists and I didn't see any VGC teams posted anywhere. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right places. So once I get that information, we'll convey it here on the podcast. In other news, Pokemon Shuffle is now available for download. I don't know if you were on the podcast when we talked about that.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. So that's available in North America, Europe, and Australia. It's the puzzle game that's very similar to Trove. This is the free-to-play. Will has been playing it pretty regularly. He's in his whole Candy Crush bandwagon, and he's told me it's very, very similar to Candy Crush. So when we get him on, he'll talk about that. But if you're curious what real money you have to spend, 1 jewel costs 99 cents, 6 cost $5, 12 cost $9. If you want 35 of these bad boys, that's $24.
A lifetime supply.
And if you're really into the Pokemon Shuffle, 75 jewels will cost you $47.99.
So what do the jewels do?
Jewels buy the hearts in the game. And each stage costs 1 heart to play. And so 1 jewel will give you 5 hearts. And if you don't have enough hearts, you either have to wait 30 minutes or you use a jewel to buy a heart.
A whole 30 minutes?
That's the thing.
A whole half of an hour? It's not like there's 24 of those in a day or anything. But
what?
Man, no, I get it. I get how the human psychology works.
Have you been sucked into any free-to-play games?
I just talked about Hearthstone like 20 minutes ago. Not even 25 minutes ago.
But you can get everything in Hearthstone without paying, right? There's nothing.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was super sucked into Simpsons Tapped Out, and I spent probably $200 in the game over 2 months. It was not good.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Hearthstone's decent.
It's a good game.
What else has happened? Salamence promo is coming for the TCG. He is a Dragon type Pokemon because that card type now exists in the TCG with 150 HP. If you didn't know, Salamence evolves from Shelgon. Surprise, spoiler. He has the ability evolution. Once during your turn before you attack, you may play this card to evolve one of your Pokemon, even if that Pokemon was in play or it was that Pokemon's first turn. That's just fast evolution, which is really good in the TCG, so that's a thing. And then for 1 colorless, summon minions, search in your desk for 3 basic Pokemon and put them on your bench. And then for a fire, water, and 2 colors, Dragon Pulse, 130 damage, discard the top card of your deck. He is weak against Fairy, because that's a thing in the TCG now, and he has 2 retreat.
Are Dragon types do they all require multiple colored energies for their attacks?
Yes, there's no Dragon type energy, so I guess the thought behind it is you're supposed to splash dragons into your water or your fire decks. I mean, you don't really see that much if people are running dragon. They're usually running like single stage dragons like Rayquaza.
Want to know a fun fact about Salamence?
He turns into a giant spaceship when he mega evolves.
That is an additional fact that is also fun, but not the fun fact to which I was referring.
Okay.
When I played Gen 3 originally, was not the era in which I would be looking up a lot of things as I was playing. I was just satisfied to play Pokemon and play with my friends. I had not yet gotten interested in Pokemon competitively. That was in Gen 4 when I started to do that. So I thought that Bagon was just a really, really bad single-stage evolution Pokemon. Because it gets pretty high level before you get to Shelgon. So I just thought Bagon was just on its own. And I was like, why would anyone use this stinker?
That's incredible.
But Bagon got the last laugh because he turns into something quite substantial.
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
The TCPI, Pokemon Company International, has announced a Pokemon Art Academy competition, which fans can either draw cosplay Pikachu or their favorite Pokemon and get them printed onto real Pokemon cards. I believe the TCG cards. A panel of Pokemon officials will pick 6 winners who will receive 100 prints of their cards. And the cards will not be sold in regular TCG packs, nor will they be tournament illegal. Oh, that's super disappointing.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. The competition is open February 18th, ends on March 29th, and the winners will be announced in May. You must create and save the image in Pokemon Academy using free paint mode. And then you can use the share feature, connect to Miiverse, agree to the competition, and then I believe you're posting it on Miiverse, and that's how they're judging.
That's super not cool that they're not actually making the cards put into the actual TCG game. Like, why not? Okay, like, I realize they're like, oh, well, if, they draw a Surskit, we're not making a new Surskit card, so we can't have, but why not just have a list of Pokemon that you are going to make cards for down the line? And then you get free art for it. Like, that's what, and the people who like want to participate in this, they get a card with their art on it, and that's really cool. It's a win-win.
Right.
But no, I don't know. I mean, it's cool that they're encouraging. Because I don't know, I'm trying to think of what official channels people have for showing off their Poke drawings. I can't think of any, so it's sort of cool.
DeviantArt, I guess.
Official channels? The official Pokemon DeviantArt page. That's probably a thing, I don't know. Do companies have DeviantArt presences?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
visit our DeviantArt at Pokemon Podcast, DeviantArt.com/Pokemon Podcast. Whatever DeviantArt's URL system is for Pokemon Podcast, put Pokemon Podcast there.
So if they're putting them into cards, obviously those cards must exist, or they're going to make something up at the time.
Yeah, I think it's just like they put the winner's art in a box, and then they make up some nonsense moves that don't matter because no one's going to actually use the cards.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, maybe there was some like legal issues, or they didn't want to accidentally make a quote unquote joke card, and then all of a sudden that does competitive play because it wasn't play tested. Yeah. But I mean, like, if you look at the TCG right now, I think there's 4 different types of art for Terrakion. Like,
yeah.
What if, like, why does it matter if a current card has different art?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, if I have 0 talent when it comes to freehand drawing, but if you're into that thing and you like drawing Pokemon, I don't see why not.
It's for exposure.
I mean, to say you won, right?
Yeah.
You get 100 prints of your cards.
That's pretty cool.
You can give them away. Maybe sell them. I don't know. I doubt they'd be worth any money.
Please buy my art.
Buy what
I won something. Please buy it.
Prints of cards. I think that's all we got. Oh, Twitch plays Pokemon. That's news.
Huh.
Travis, have you watched any Twitch plays Pokemon recently?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, so Twitch plays
Pokemon anniversary run of.
Yes.
Was it Red and Blue again?
It's Red. So yeah, it's an anniversary run of Pokemon Red. It's been a year since Twitch played Pokemon started. So pretty exciting. There are a bunch of secrets apparently in the game. My assumption is the person you face at the end will have the Pokemon in the original Red.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm assuming. There's some modifications, so the overall goal in this game is not only to beat the champion, but to actually capture all 150 Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
So the game has been modded to have all 150 Pokemon. It's also been modded like Gold and Silver to show the little Pokeball that you've caught it.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The current Pokemon, as of this morning, is Marowak, a Rhyhorn, Parasect, a Meowth, a Flareon, and an Onix. So I haven't been watching religiously, but they're up to 4 badges. Um,
It's gonna take forever for them to catch all those Pokemon.
yeah, I have they own 30 of the Pokemon. So not
Like,
bad.
what if they missed one on the route, on like the first route, and they get to the end, and then they have to go. How do you convince a legion of monkeys to write Shakespeare? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how do you get everyone to just go back to Pallet Town? It'll be really boring, and for 4 days we'll be trying to get. Ugh, that, so it'll take a full year. It'll be the second anniversary before they're done.
I mean, the mob comes up with things and they achieve it surprisingly.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of dramatic things that have happened so far. They accidentally picked the dome fossil instead of the helix fossil.
Oh no.
So that was a big outrage. The other thing is it was last Monday. It was called Massacre Monday, where they accidentally released their Charizard into the wild. They released about 6 Diglets and a couple other Pokemon with that, because they went on a Diglett catching spree. After they beat Misty, they realized they had no money, so the mob decided if they found a Meowth and caught a Meowth, they could use Payday over and over and build money so they could buy more Pokeballs. And that actually worked. They caught like 3 Meowths, accidentally let 2 of them go, but they have 1 right now. Somehow they made it to the top of the tower, got Eevee, went over, bought a Firestone, and evolved it into Flareon. So that's a thing. And their MVP right now is their Parasect, which is level 66, and they dubbed him the Leech King. So that's cool.
How many people are participating? Because I know after the original run of the original Twitch Boys Pokemon, the viewership went down a lot. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe. Nope. False alarm. Sorry, folks.
So when it started, it had over 9,000 people watching the first couple hours. Obviously, it was exciting because the game was starting again.
Yeah.
And when I checked yesterday, they had about 4,000 people watching.
Okay.
So pretty good.
Yeah.
There has been no democracy mode yet, but we're to the point now where I believe they have to go into the casino corner.
Yeah.
And that's when democracy was first introduced because of the spinning platforms.
Yeah.
And the creator did an AMA recently, but we'll probably tackle that next week because we probably won't get any new exciting Pokemon news in the next week.
Right.
But if you haven't jumped on the Twitch Bane Plays Pokemon bandwagon, you're probably not going to jump on it. But it's still entertaining. It's cool. Stories form out of nothing.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. All right, let's take a quick break, and then what we'll do is, because of the amount of news, we're going to do Pokemon of the Week, a Valentine's Day Pokemon of the Week for you guys, and then we will also do our signature item of the week, because that has been going well, and that should wrap our show. And we are back from our break. I almost didn't do, and we are back. That would have been bad.
That would have been catastrophic.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Pokemon of the Week. We haven't done this in a
right.
while. Pokemon of the Week. This week's Pokemon of the Week is Lovedis, the Rendezvous Pokemon.
No, is that really what it's called? That's funny.
And before we get to the amazing move list that Travis has come up with,
is currently coming up with
His
because I
I will read.
forgot that I was supposed to. Stall.
I'll read the biology here. We'll put a little Barry White music in the background. See if I can do this. Love Disc is a fish-like Pokemon with a relatively flat body in the shape of a heart. Loving couples gave this Pokemon its name after spotting it in the ocean waters. It's primarily light pink with a pale lips and circular markings on its cheeks. During the spring, it forms in groups that turn the ocean surface bright pink. Love discs lie in warm seas where it makes its nest of love near Corsola, that's a Pokemon too, of coral reefs. There we go. Love disc. Introduced in Gen 3, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that is correct. Yeah.
And yep.
Maybe it's Gen 2.
Nope,
Or
Generation
3.
3. Generation 3. Generation 3, it has 330 total base stats. Highest being in speed.
Solid 330. A respectable 330.
Travis, you got a good moveset?
So a bit of a challenge to make a good moveset for Love Disc, because it's one of those Pokemon that, you can make a decent moveset for a Pokemon with low base stat total, and it'll be fine against other Pokemon in a similar scenario, so that's not necessarily what was difficult about it. It's particularly the distribution of stats for Love Disc that make it an interesting puzzle, because it's one of those Pokemon that its benefits don't... It's hard to tell what it's good at immediately. Like, you'll see a Pokemon that's really fast and has good special attack, and I know what I should do with that one. Whereas Love Disc's highest stat is its speed at 97, but then second highest is special defense, followed by defense, and then HP, and then its two attack stats are really low. So it's sort of difficult to figure out, what you do with a fast Pokemon, where its defenses are relatively higher. And so that made me think of having it be used as sort of like a support Pokemon. And you could use, in singles, you could use Toxic and, I thought Toxic, Safeguard, Attract, and Rest with like a Chesto Berry or something like that. And then have your EV distribution in mostly HP, and then some in the defenses and speed, because what you could do is you have that as a Pokemon that when it gets a free switch in, you just get Toxic, and because its speed is relatively high, you can outspeed some things and make sure you get the Toxic off before it takes a hit, and it could probably take a hit or two, depending on which Pokemon you're fighting against. But I think more effectively you could use it in doubles, in the same sort of role, in that you could replace Attract with Heal Pulse, which is the move that heals the target by 50%, and you can use it to, one Pokemon dies, the other's barely hanging on from a devastating rock slide. You get a free switch into Love Disc, use Heal Pulse on the other one, and it can keep on kicking. So altogether not a stellar Pokemon, a difficult one to work around, but there's still, as with any Pokemon, there's still some things you can do with it, and the shiny is really cute. So
yeah, the shiny's gold.
That's correct.
Gold. A little bit of trivia here off Bubblepedia. Due to their similar appearance and identical typing, it was speculated that Alomomola would evolve from Love Disc, but that did not happen.
Really should have.
Yeah. Maybe one day they'll meet.
Near, far, wherever.
Love Disc is based on the discus fish and the certain other species of fish that appear to kiss each other. It's shaped like a heart symbol, obviously, and its shiny color may be a reference to having a heart of gold, which signifies a person or being completely without malice, whose nature is loving or caring. Maybe malice,
yeah. Means like evil intent.
Mm. Love is pretty cool. He's like one of those Pokemon you see in like the movies, just kind of swimming along. No real other reference. According to the anime, Misty Misty has a love disc.
I didn't know that.
There you go. There you go. Love disc. To piggyback off Love disc and Valentine's Day, we are going to shift gears over to our item of the week, which is based off of items from PokemonCenter.com. We do the segment to remind our listeners and ourselves that PokemonCenter.com is a thing. And they have cool stuff. And they're always getting new stuff, like the item we're about to talk about here, which Travis received in the mail recently.
I did. I got it as a present, as a Valentine's Day gift. But now it's going to be really awkward because as part of item of the week, you also read how much it costs. So I know this is one part of my Valentine's, but I'll know exactly how much my significant other spent this part of my Valentine's gift. So
that's true.
Just wait on that. Just wait on that part, listeners. You'll be able to feel the awkwardness. It'll be a bit disjointed. The show maybe for a little. No, whatever.
I mean, with Amazon, it's like you can almost figure out what anyone spends on anyone.
That's true.
That is true.
Or with PokemonCenter.com if you're dating a nerd like I am.
That's awesome. So this week's item of the week is titled The Perfect Pair Pikachu Poke Plush, parentheses, standard size. Which leaves me to believe there might be a deluxe size coming. Maybe next Valentine's Day. 5 reviews, $24.99 US dollars. Availability usually ships in 24 hours. This, if you're listening to this podcast and not watching it like you should because you can't watch us, let me describe the item. 2 Pikachu sharing one heart. These perfect pair Pikachu plush are holding a single red heart, a beautiful sign of love and friendship. The love of the Poke Plush will warm your heart. Recommended for ages 4 years and up. Made in China. Service wash only. Travis, do not put it in your washing machine.
Yeah. Note taken. For a more detailed description, what I find is sort of really funny about it is that one Pikachu is clearly having a better time than the other. It looks like a couple is posing for a picture, and one just really because one is just sort of a normal smile, but then the other has a huge smile, mouth is open, so excited. And the other one's like, "Yeah, I'm here." But okay, that's just.
It looks like the happier one has a flower.
Yeah, there's a pink flower pin in the Pikachu hair, not hair because it's in the fur, but by the Pikachu's ear, and then the other one, which I don't know if you can see it on the picture on the website since it's sort of hidden behind the
heart,
but there's also I guess you'd say like a ribbon pinned to the chest of the other Pikachu. That's like a blue flower with like a ribbon sort of dangling down.
Yeah.
Very, very nice and soft fur on both of the Pikachu. Surprisingly different feeling material on the heart, though, which is not what I expected. I didn't expect it because I didn't know I was getting it, but not what I expected when I first encountered it.
Now, you've gotten plushes from like Target and stuff.
I have.
How would this compare?
This is a lot nicer, yeah. It feels like it's a sturdy plush and that I don't think it'll deteriorate very easily. Maybe the stitching on the heart is a weak spot, but other than that, the material on the outside, the fur there is very nice, and they stand up fine, and yeah, it's a.
Are the Pikachu only connected by the heart?
No, they're also sort of like they're holding hands too because they're adorable.
Oh, okay.
So their outside hand is holding the heart, and then their their inside feet and hands are stitched together so that they stay together.
Romantic.
Exactly.
As always with Item of the Week, we read the reviews for a product. It has 5 reviews, all 5 stars. We probably won't read all of them, but we'll start with Love is in the Air by Colored Pokemon Lover for 15 years, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Just got mine tonight, a day earlier than the estimated arrival date. These are good quality for the price.
Wait. I'm going to stop you right there. The estimated arrival date was 24 hours. They got it a day before that? I'm sorry.
I believe it ships in 24 hours.
All right. I was going to say there is some magic being employed by PokemonCenter.com. Continue.
They're good quality for the price. They are connected by the paws and feet, meaning detaching them would take some skill. But let's be honest, who would want to detach these cuties? They are very much worth buying for Pikachu fans out there.
I agree.
That's a decent review.
Yeah.
Absolutely Adorable by Luna Stone, 4 breeder, Lubsy. What's MD?
Medical doctor?
No, state.
Oh, Maryland.
Maryland? Oh, that's a state, I guess.
That's true.
I made the mistake showing this to my other half because I adore... Oh my god, this review is epically long. Okay. I made this
All right, folks, buckle your seatbelts, grab your popcorn.
I'll see if I can put like a little like Valentine's Day music behind this one.
What is Valentine's Day music? Continue.
I don't know, like Barry White? The same.
Is Barry White the only artist you know?
I mean, Barry White is the artist that fits every occasion.
Weddings, bar mitzvahs,
funerals. I made the mistake of showing this to my other half because I adore and collect plushies of every single game genre I enjoy. It's a huge surprise to find this waiting for me at work on Valentine's Day. Both of the Pikachus are soft and quite firm. They balance each other out quite well, and they can sit on their own without support. The flowers are a nice touch, blue on the male, pink on the female. Another difference between the two is the female's tail is rounded in almost a heart shape, if you will, to put this really over the top. The heart they hold is sewn neatly and secure. Their hands have a firm grip, meaning it wouldn't tear if you were intentionally being forceful about pulling on their stitching. It's not as soft as the Pikachu themselves, although it does have a slight fuzz feel. Now, if only the Esper family could have a similar plush type to match this. Did you notice that the female had a...
Yeah, I did, because that's how that's the male and female. I believe it's in Gen 6 they introduced that male-female difference with Pikachu, is that the female has the heart-shaped tail, yeah. Maybe it's Gen 5?
That's some good detail.
But yeah, it's in there, yeah.
All right, one more. One more from... They Got the Tail Right. Panda 138 Pokemon Lover, Illinois, USA. I don't know if I'm just geeking out, but I noticed that they put a lot of care into this product. The female Pikachu has the rounded tail, which is a major difference between the male and female Pikachu. Good job. 5 out of 6 people thought this review was helpful.
The other person was like, you nerd. The 6th dentist.
Oh, that's awesome. That is a signature plush, though.
It is, I mean, maybe I'm biased just because I was so happy to get it, and it's so cute. But it also seems like a really high quality plush if I'm trying to be objective about such a cute a thing.
Yeah. It's hard to buy plushes at like Target now because they have to compete with this quality.
Yeah.
And most of the Target plushes are just garbage. Let's be real. You got anything else, Travis? I think that's
it for me.
That's it for you. Playing Hearthstone, living the dream.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the new 3DS, and I didn't even talk about the buttons. We'll save that for next week. I got the new 3DS.
Tune in next time.
I got the Monster Hunter 3DS. Been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. So if you are also playing Monster Hunter, or you're curious about getting Monster Hunter, let me know on my personal Twitter, which is @DraggingALake. More than willing to play with you or give you tips on how to play it. The reason I bring that up is because Logan, this is Logan's first Monster Hunter, and he was very frustrated about it, didn't enjoy it. And I was like, look, the game is meant for multiplayer. It's meant to be played with, 4 people. Instead of me explaining this over Twitter, why don't you play, and then we can Skype and I can explain things as we go. And now it seems like he's very sold on it. He sees why people likes it and everything. So there you go. If you're into the Monster Hunter, let me know. I'll hook you up. Other than that, Travis, where can our listeners find you?
Twitter.com/TheTravisW. And then if you want to see my photography, it's at thetravisw.tumblr.com or 500pixels.com/TheTravisW. That's 500, like 500px.com/TheTravisW.
You're not doing that Flickr anymore?
It's still on there, yeah.
Okay.
But it's just, Flickr.com. So, how many URLs can I give people for my arguably decent photography? Like, might be pushing it a little.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Dragging a Lake. Again, if you want a Monster Hunter, let me know. I'm also still playing Destiny a lot. I'm sure if you want to play Hearthstone, you can message Travis. You still play Hearthstone a lot?
Yeah.
Yep. And
I've also been playing a lot of Civ 5, but I'm not going to do that with listeners because those games take like 24 hours. I don't know that I could do that much time with any human being.
You just play computers in Civ 5? Is that?
Yeah, but I also do sometimes play with my friends. I was sort of lying, but it does take a long time. Well, if you do the quick mode, it's not quite as long. But I was playing with my roommate last night, and we played for 6 hours and got about a quarter of the way through.
That still sounds awesome, though.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Dragging a Lake on Twitter. If you want to follow the podcast at Pokemon Podcast. If you have any thoughts for the shows, or you want to share your milk with us, or you want the Twitch thing
so weird out of context.
Go ahead and tweet at us. If you have any questions for us, use the hashtag PKMNcast when you ask us the question. And I know we didn't do questions this episode because it's a little bit shorter, but we'll have plenty of questions for next week. Please ask a question. We'll get that answered for you on air. You can also email us, SBJ, just my initials, at pkmncast.com. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/pkmncast. And I'm missing something. But we have 420 reviews in iTunes. You can make a joke out of that if you want to. But really looking to get to 500 reviews by the end of the year. That's kind of the goal I have in mind.
So you're saying that our listeners should just like blaze it with the reviews that you want to come in?
Right.
You want them to really light it up in the iTunes market.
Yes.
You want us to you want so many reviews that it could make something that it could make a structure that would roll.
Yeah.
That last one didn't make too much sense.
I mean, I can cut and edit it to make it make sense.
I think it's better this way, actually.
I don't know where you're going. Yeah, so we didn't do any podcast awards or short. We didn't do any of that this year. That's not really our focus. Focus is on Twitch, also on iTunes. Even if you don't use iTunes, let's say you hate iTunes. Understandable. iTunes is pretty garbage.
Your father was murdered by iTunes.
Go ahead and open up iTunes. I know you hate it. I know it's there. But go ahead, open up iTunes, hit that subscribe button, and leave us a review. And 5 stars preferably. Any stars is fine. But 5 stars. If you leave a review this week, put something in about like milk or maybe peanut butter Badoofs, something recent. Blastoids possibly. Leave us a review, hit that little subscribe button, and go ahead and close iTunes, and then you'll never have to open it again because you did those 2 things. And then you can listen to us. You can also listen to us on Stitcher or Scatter Radio or directly on the podcast, the website, PokemonPodcast.com. And yeah, that's it. Leave us a review in iTunes. We're trying to get to 500. Rinse and repeat.
What?
I don't know. This
You're
has
just
been
giving
another
instructions
episode.
to how someone should take a shower at this point. Like,
Well,
rinse and repeat. Don't. Cold water is better for you because
keep
it's better
out
for
of
you.
eyes.
Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
I can't. Okay. Because I said things and then you didn't. And usually the order of operations here is that we sort of do it back and forth.
Yeah, that kind of got lost. That's how you can tell the show needs to be ended.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
Super effective.
dun dun dun. Good night, everyone. Or morning. Good night.